I swear I'm gonna break that chair. I'm gonna break that chair one time I do that. And I'm gonna let y'all see that. I'm man enough to let y'all see the footage. I'm gonna let y'all see the footage of me just going, like, crashing down and falling over and everything. I'm gonna let y'all see it. But what's good, TMG fam? It's your boy L, and I'm back with another reaction. How y'all feel? Welcome back to the channel. Salute. Listen, man, Crook's Corner exclusive interview with Eminem Part 2. Let's get to it.
It's crazy, man. It's a new era, man. Like, I always wanted to know, like, what's your perspective on people with longevity such as yourself adjusting to the new era of hip hop? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's another one of the things that make it fun too, is like being able to watch like Cole and Kendrick come up and seeing how great they were right off the bat. And it's like you start, like, I mean, aside from them, like, I pay attention to everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
All the new shit I try to stay up on, who's doing what, flow patterns, that kind of shit, because it's always interesting to me, like, the baby. Like, I never know where his rhymes are gonna land.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that shit is so interesting to me because he does it so well. It's the same thing with you and Royce. It's like, I don't really know where this is gonna go, and when I get on a song with you or him, I know what I'm gonna get in the sense of the bar it's gonna be, but I don't know what I'm gonna get, what style, what, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
I don't know. I can't predict a flow pattern. I can't never predict anything. It's the same thing if I get on the track with Kendrick. I can never tell what the fuck he's gonna do.
Right.
Because he's such a chameleon of styles, and he can fucking do pretty much anything, right? And he's so proficient at it, he's so good at it, and you don't know what you're gonna get.
What does that scream to y'all? That screams to me like we need to we need to preserve his ear, man. Like, M's ear, like, when it's all said and done, man, and he's done, and he's 100 years old or whatever, he's laid to rest, we need to take his ear, man, and preserve his ear. Because he just broke down to you how he studies everybody. Like, even on down to the new artist, the baby. You get what I'm saying? Like, he breaks it, he studies everybody from the Kendricks to the baby to, he gave us YB and Corday. He done said Young and May. Like, he is in tune with everything going on, bro. And he finds where the average listener just hears the beat and just vibes. His is almost like work. And I guess that's where the anxiety come in. Listening to music for M is totally different than listening with an avid or average fan. His is studying, figuring out. Holy snap, that's different. This is new. All right, now I gotta try and top that. That's how you get great, bro. That's how you be great. That's what I'm taking from this. That's where his greatness lies.
And he's so proficient at it, he's so good at it, and you don't know what you're gonna get. That to me is like a top tier lyricist, because it's like, you can get your ass kicked any day. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain rappers get on a certain song and it's like, it just depends on.
Yeah, just like you. I mean, you probably inspired countless, stupid bars when people knew, okay, I gotta get on a song with him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they just know, I'm very surprised if you ever have done a song with, every time I listen to a song that you've done with another artist, it's always one of their best verses. You see what I'm saying? It's like you inspired them to push their pen like that, you know what I mean? And that's gotta be something, to walk in the room and just change the energy.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, but it's, it's a craft that, we've I don't know if I've mastered it yet, but I'm still trying to figure shit out. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as I've been in the game, I'm always trying to figure out new flow patterns and new, you know what I'm saying? Like new cadences and shit. I'm still trying to always get it right, you know? Because it's like I making an album, I don't always get it right. You know?
And that's where the new guys come into play. You know what I mean? And a lot of guys, they fall victim to not wanting to listen to the new guys. But you just heard M say, The Baby is a new artist, but his flow patterns is crazy. You never know. Like he said, so like that's inspiring. That's new. That's something different. If you don't pay attention to what's going on and what they're doing, you won't be able to make the transition or have the longevity as well. And I think that's where a lot of older artists fall victim, bro. They don't change with the times. They don't try to adapt some. I'm not saying you got to switch your whole style up and try to be a trap rap or a new artist style. And no, I'm just saying sometimes you got to just add and tweak a little bit of your style to attract some of the newer crowd. You know what I mean? That's where your longevity comes in as well. I'm not saying you got to change anything. Look at Griselda. Look at Griselda. You know what I mean? They're letting you know that lyrics is back.
I don't always get every song right. I don't always get every delivery right, you know? So it's one of the things I'm just always trying to improve.
Are you your toughest critic?
Absolutely. I mean, you're probably yours, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, because you know that you can't sit down with the pen and just rhyme the last word of every line. You know what I'm saying?
Like you said, that's not fun.
Yeah, that's not fun.
That's like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And your love for hip hop is just evident. You know what I'm saying? Like, even the t-shirts you choose to wear sometimes. I sit back and I see a picture of you rocking the stage. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like you, I think you had like Lakim Shabazz on one of your t-shirts, you know what I'm saying?
No.
And a lot of people don't even know, you know, who that call themselves hip hop heads might not even know who that is on your shirt. Is that something you do on purpose? I mean,
it is something I do on, well, A, because I love it, because it's fun for me. Like, it makes me feel like a kid again. It's like, oh shit, I got this album cover on. Like think about, when I think of like iconic album covers, NWA's first album cover, Audio 2's first album cover, like the color scheme of that, like how they was wearing the airbrush shirts and shit.
Right.
Like having that on a shirt is A, it's dope to me, but it's also like, maybe if I'm doing a show and some of the younger fans don't know who this is, they'll go back and, you know, look at it.
Go back and say, man, who is that on this shirt? And
go
get
back
educated.
and be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Because Lakim Shabazz was fucking nice.
I'm raw and rare. I walk in the square of pure righteous. Man, and being that much of a, you know, a part of the culture, history books are going to definitely put you as one of the greatest of all time. How do you feel about the concept of white rappers being a guest in the house of hip hop?
Well, I mean,
Ooh. That was one of the questions we talked about. See how he responds. This is directed at the whole, we ain't even gonna mention his name.
History books are going to definitely put you as one of the greatest of all time. How do you feel about the concept of white rappers being a guest in the house of hip hop?
well, I mean, that's the funny thing. I don't know if I've got a chance to say this yet, but the funny shit is, like, I with the whole beef of a certain person.
Right.
I never said I wasn't a guest.
Right.
Like, I'm absolutely a guest. Like, I never said I wasn't.
Right.
And I never said I was king of anything. Right? Like, I had a song called Kings Never Die, but it wasn't me saying, that was one of the beats that Khalil sent me with the hook on it. That was the concept of the song. And I'm like, I can't say I'm the king of hip hop.
Right.
I can just say, so I threw Run DMC in there, Jam Master J. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And was trying to, like, because I never want to be, like, I don't want to be the king of hip hop. Who the fuck is the king of hip hop?
Yeah.
Like, is there a king of hip hop? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel you on that.
People would say, just because you sell the most records doesn't mean you're the best. Just because you can rap 40 million syllables doesn't mean you're the best. Like, I care more about rhyming the syllables. You know what I'm saying? Like I care more about the craft than any of the other.
And that shows. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it goes back to those who know. You know what I mean? If you know, you know. And I just don't. I don't get it sometimes. You know what I mean? I watch these rap media so-called critics and some music journalists, and so many of your bars and your messages goes over their heads. And, you know, they, like, even with the content conversation, I mean, you've been having content since day one. You got songs to prove it. You know what I mean?
It's like sometimes I'm like, what is content? What are you talking about? What do you want me to talk about? Think about the first time you heard Rakim, right? So when people make these lists, and he's always on the list, but he's also always on my list because, to me, greatness is not only how well you do something, but if you were the first to do it. Rakim was the first person that I heard that started using like inside rhyme schemes,
right,
and coming back at the end and hitting the, you know what I'm saying? So he did something that hadn't even been thought of yet.
Original.
Yeah, it was like, and he single-handedly pushed the genre forward to be more complex lyrically, and then birthed fucking Kane and G-Rap, right?
Right.
And man, like those two will always be on my list too, because like Kane was doing confuse and lose, abuse and bruise the crews who choose to use my name wrong will pay dues. Woo. Man, come on, nobody was doing that.
Nobody
like
was
that
doing
was
that.
Every single fucking word he said rhymed, and he just made a sentence with it. Like,
and that made sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Every person who's a fan of hip hop might feel like hip hop is about something different, right? It ain't about lyrics. It's about how good you flow in your cadence, right?
Right.
Or it ain't like, but it's just about the beat is dope and just having a message over it. That could be what your opinion of what hip hop is about. My opinion is hip hop is about lyricism, and the greats who we put up on the pedestal, right? That's what they were about, and that was the beauty of us being able to learn how to do it and learn from them, right?
Did anybody listen to the Slim Shady LP? Was that not content? Or maybe I'm tripping. I thought that was content. Wasn't that the album that had him talking about shorty, I never meant to give you mushrooms, girl? Like some stuff that could happen at a frat party and go down, and then, you know what I'm saying? Like, or choices. Like, was it choices? What was the one where him and Dre was going back and forth about, or was it Guilty Conscience? It might have been Guilty Conscience was the name of it. Trying to run through this brain of mine is crazy. Bruh, like, it was a lot of content. I've always thought, so whoever came up with that narrative of, oh, he doesn't have content in his songs, he just rhymes a whole bunch of words. He does have content. But I think people think that you're supposed to do that every single song. That will get old to a person that is sitting here telling you that I have to find nuances and new ways to do things. I can't just sit here and do the same exact thing, like rhyming the last word of every single sentence. I can't. That's no fun. I have to do what is fun for me. Like, he can't make it any more simple and plain to you as he gives you these complexities in his rhymes. I don't understand it.
So, like, do you ever agree with any of the top 50 lists that circulate on the internet? Have you seen one that you're like, oh yeah, that's accurate?
I've seen a couple of them where I feel like, okay, that's kind of accurate. I don't ever want to come off as preachy or be like, you don't understand what we do. We're so much smarter than you. No, it's not about that. But we do the craft, and we do rap at a certain level where we know, like, game recognized game, right?
Right.
Like, you can appreciate Jordan because Jordan was like a spectacle to see, right? It was just like, holy shit.
Right.
But I don't even know half the shit he was doing.
It's like mechanics. If I hire somebody to fix my car, I'm not gonna hire a painter. I'm gonna hire a mechanic. A mechanic knows what he's doing under the hood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I can't explain what he's doing.
Then you could be like, yo, that's the best mechanic I've ever seen.
Right.
Like I saw what's it called? My expert opinion with Matt Hoffa, right?
Right.
And it was
Shout out to Math Hoffa with the alley-oop right there. Yo, I'm giving a lot of alley-oops right now, I'm seeing.
the episode where they were talking about the verse that I did on the Fat Joe thing. And I was like, these are the guys who, if I was coming up like as a rapper or just a fan of rap or whatever, I would want to hear from them because they do this too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like game recognized game. Like I don't know if this guy is the best mechanic in the fucking world. I don't, you know what I'm saying? It's not my thing. But someone who is a mechanic might be like, yo, this guy he's the fucking GOAT.
Yeah, exactly.
Changing your muffler. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And then we come and argue with that guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's not the GOAT, and I'm not a fucking mechanic.
Yeah. But then again, it's like you don't want to sound too preachy and be like, we're so much smarter than you. You don't understand what we're doing. Like, it's not about that. But at some point, it's just like, I can't take your list seriously. If they don't have you on it, they don't have Royce on it, I can't take it serious. I can't take it serious because it's like you don't really know what you're talking about. So I can't get mad at you. Right. I think that a lot of times when people make these lists, they're mistaking the greatest rappers for their favorite rappers. So what they mean to say is, these are my favorite rappers. These are my personal favorites. Right? Jay, Nas, they're always going to be on that list, right?
Right. You're always going to be on it.
On some people's. But,
dog, I've never seen a list without you on it.
Well, I mean, yeah.
You might not be where you deserve to be. You know what I'm saying?
That's, in my opinion, that's how I feel when people don't put you and Royce there, because the longevity, how good you guys have consistently been to be able to keep it up to this level. You know what I'm saying? And like, we're not youngins in this game. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we put our time in, but still, even to this day, when I hear a new song by you or a new rhyme scheme, I feel like he's still figuring this out. Like, in other words, you're trying to figure out a way to make this verse better than anything you just did prior to it, right?
Word.
Each fucking verse is like, that's how I feel when I listen to you. I'm like, oh, he's still fucking with different flow patterns.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
looking.
and cares about it in the pockets, and like, I don't ever know where your rhyme's gonna fall at, and I don't know how many syllables you're gonna fucking hit, but that's the other thing, is like, when people are like, we don't care about the syllables and all that shit, yo, you need to, because that's the craft of doing it.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't need
MCing.
to.
That's an MC, yeah.
It's up to you. It's up to you. Like, how whatever you feel, But like, I think that people are just sometimes mistaking best MCs for their favorite rappers.
Speaking of favorite rappers, Tretch,
I don't see on a lot of lists either.
Yeah.
And that shit is infuriating.
Talk about somebody who had a flow pattern. Tretch was so underrated as far as flow patterns go, and did a lot, and just made it to where he just, number one, Tretch was from and looked a lot. Look, everybody could relate to Tretch because of his upbringing, how he came into the game, what he looked like, how he came off. He was cool, his style, his movements, how he rapped, how he looked, his mannerisms, his rapper hands, his everything about Tretch, man, had you glued to the set. Like, yo, man, this dude. And then when he started to rap, it was like, how in high and yo, did you just hear what he just said? Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. I agree, man. I don't think Tretch gets the respect he deserves. I actually seen an interview where he was brought up on 106 in Park, and I was just like, yo, finally somebody is really bringing him up to, you know what I'm saying? Let him get his shit off, because he did a lot in this game, and I feel like his name don't get brought up enough.
To me, because I think that, again, we was talking about like, Rakim did something that never been done, and Kane did something, and G-Rap did something that never been done. Tretch did, to me, I think what happened with Tretch, and this is just in my circle of friends that we talk about shit, one of the common things said is, well, he did OPP and he did Hip Hop Array.
Right.
But he was still rhyming his ass off on those songs, right?
Right.
But he also did something, to me, in my opinion, that, like, there was a time period probably between 91 and about 95 where damn near every rapper in the game was following him.
Right.
And trying to do what he was doing.
Absolutely.
Dressing like him. You know what I'm saying? The whole shit moving like him.
Exactly.
And he was getting on fucking songs and smoking everybody.
Man.
And it was like, yo, when I heard Yoke the Joker, my fucking heart sank. My heart sank because I was like, I'm never gonna be this good.
Wow.
I might as well quit. I didn't write a rhyme for the entire summer. I said this on the Ice-T documentary, but this is real shit. I didn't write for an entire summer. And Proof was like, yo, man, he's good, but you gotta keep.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
and I was just like, but I'll never be that good. By the time it got to Wickedest Man Alive, I was like, I quit. I don't want to do this anymore.
You got a favorite Tretch verse?
I got a lot of favorite Tretch verses. When I heard him yoke the Joker, when he was like, oh, fuzzy, dirty, dizzy, duzzy, get the fix he needs. Remember how blistery? You ain't ready for the Freddy you rap. He can't kill me. I stepped into your dreams, you feel me? Slicing your life away. Just like my mic today, I eat you the psycho way. I'm ripping shit right away. Oh. Man, he was yo.
Tretch.
There are.
Hey, yo, man. Man. He a walking hip-hop encyclopedia, bro. A walking hip-hop encyclopedia is what he is, fam. Look at how he pulling verses from Tretch from back in the day. Like, come on, man. That's why when I saw Tretch, it was Tretch and what's his name from Detroit? Oh, what is it? Trick. And what's the it was three of them. It was Tretch, it was Trick, and it was I can't think of his name right now, but when they did a song about a couple years ago, bro, I love that song because it just gave you that feel, man. You know what I'm saying? So M to me is just like a walking encyclopedia. That's gonna bug me to death that I can't think of the other person on that song, but you guys know because y'all are walking hip hop encyclopedias as well, man. So I'm pretty sure somebody will be like, yo, that was what's the name, and that song is called this, and I appreciate you for that.
There are some in this genre that have not even caught up to that. All this time has passed, and those verses are so timeless to me.
Right.
Like, you got beef for what we do, talk to the bunny, sonny. He's a man, Bugs the thug with the money. Funny that you should mention, has my family they're covered. What's up to my cousins and my sisters and my Warner brothers? Birds of a feather, flop and fella be together. No matter what or whatever, endeavor find who's better. You, me, he, she, them, him, those, or others. You skip two ducks with worm pluck, initiate the trouble. For those who disagree or maybe feel the need to front it. Show me your whole entire crew, two shoes, and I'ma run it. Do you want it, maybe? Yo. I was like, God damn, no one has did that yet.
Yo, it was like, yo, man, I quit, bro. I quit.
What he did was, he did wordplay, he did compound syllables, multi-syllable rhyming, and he did it in different styles.
Right.
He never had to, go back and listen to that first album. He never did the same style twice. I love his image. I love what he was about. He looked cool. You know what I'm saying? You believed him.
Right, he was believable.
He looked the part, he acted the part, he was the part, right? So that's why I think a lot of rappers just kind of started going, and I did, like with my writing and shit, by the time the second album came out, I sounded just like him. I sounded just like Tretch. I sounded like Cool G Rap. Like, there's so many eras that I sounded like other rappers, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like, That's what we do when kids.
Yeah,
right?
we get influenced.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're inspired. What you think?
That's who you're inspired by. That's who you're influenced by. That's who you want to be like. And then eventually you carve out your own lane, and then you occupy that lane. You know what I'm saying? You hold that lane down. But a lot of artists don't. A lot of people, not just artists, people, because everybody don't become an artist, but they start out as rappers. A lot of people won't admit to that. So salute to him for even admitting to that, man. He's like, I sounded just like him. I sounded like him. What do you expect? I pattern. That's even like in sports where you patterned your game after MJ, or you patterned your game after Kobe, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be able to pay homage and respect to those that came before you. And that's why he be preaching that as well. You know, learn about the ones that came before you. You can learn a lot that'll help your game, take it to the next level, add your sauce and your flavor to it, and then boom. It just like that. Listen, man, we're gonna stop it right here. But y'all get at me. Y'all let me know what y'all think so far, man. And so far, this interview is dope. Salute to Crooked again, bro. This is a big look. Shout outs to him, man. And I'm anxious to see after this, what's Crook's next interview gonna be, bro. Salute. It's your boy L. To the next reaction. I'm out. Peace. Y'all stay solid. Hey.